We move ahead on Fox College Sports. The Greco-Roman 60 kilo, 132 pounds in the red singlet. Joe Betterman, the #1 seed in this weight class. He's from Northern Michigan University. 2009 U.S. Open champion, and his opponent in the blue singlet, Jeremiah Davis from the United States Army, the #2 seed. He wrestles for the world-class athlete program at Fort Carson, Colorado.
Also a product of Northern Michigan, then joins the Army with world-class athlete program. Betterman electing to go Northern Michigan and be a resident athlete out in Colorado Springs. Both wrestlers that have very similar backgrounds, neither high school state champions. Davis was 3rd in the state way back in 2003, while Betterman 6th in the Illinois State Tournament in 2006. Little guys coming out, decided to give Greco a chance. Northern Michigan was there, Greco-Roman's there. Now they're both world-class athletes. Betterman, world teamer in 2007, Davis in 2009 and 2010.
Well, and Betterman also, U.S. Olympic team trials champion in 2008. You go back and take a look at the World Team Trials in 09 and 10. It's Jeremiah Davis. You wrap up the last 4 years, and what we got is head-to-head competition right here at 60 kilos between Joe Betterman, red singlet, Jeremiah Davis in the blue.
It's a weight class that's gone from basically having Joe Warren the world champion in 2006, and then after that, Betterman pretty much leading the show and not a lot of experience. Now it's one of the deepest weights in all of USA Wrestling's senior level, not just Greco-Roman, but men's, women's, and Greco-Roman overall.
And there's a lot of talent. As we talked at the start of this broadcast, you've got Olympians, world medalists, world champions. This is the ASICS U.S. Open Wrestling Championships, but it's laden with world-class talent. And we come to the 30-second mark now here in Greco-Roman. As we've seen earlier, this is the mandatory parterre in 30 seconds. Regardless of the score, every Greco match is going to have it.
But unlike Mango and Telgren, this time we are scoreless. So if we are scoreless after 90 seconds, and it's the first period, the red wrestler, in this case Joe Betterman, will go on top in parterre. The only difference is he must score here. If he does not score in this 30-second offensive opportunity, as he's working with that high gut wrench, that gut wrench loading to the left side, now trying to load to the right. If he does not score, Davis will win it, get a point for defending and win the period.
He did not score in the first 13 seconds, Jason. They actually go out of bounds, so the referee brings him back in the standing position.
And the reason there was no push out there is because they were both on the mat. So Betterman's got 10 seconds to score from a neutral position, or Davis is going to get a point and win the period. Trying to drive it with that underhook to the far side.
Nice mat awareness right now by Jeremiah Davis. He refuses to step out or be pushed out. And he dodges the action nicely and picks up a point by virtue of Joe Betterman not being able to score from the top position in the final 30 seconds.
Dennis Hall, a guy who knows a little bit about Greco-Roman wrestling, and J.J. Johnson in the corner for Joe Betterman. Sean Lewis and staff in corner for Jeremiah Davis. And that Army's world-class athlete program is really, that in Northern Michigan has been a game changer when it comes to the Greco-Roman circuit. You don't just have the guys training individually where they're at or at the training center. You got camps now. You've got real teams.
It's programs like the Olympic Training Center, the resident program, the program at Northern Michigan as the second period gets underway, the Army's world-class athlete program. So Greco-Roman athletes, wrestlers have opportunities here in this country that years and years ago they may not have had. Wow. Underway, the second period. Winner of the first period, Jeremiah Davis. Again, this is the best 2 out of 3 periods.
And we are scoreless in this second period. It'll be Davis's chance to be on top in parterre, and we'll basically have the same situation again. Also, interestingly enough, Van, Betterman's fiancée, Deanna Ricks, is in the finals tonight, women's freestyle at 59 kilos.
Oh, he fell off the head, and the push down, the shuck, if you will, by Joe Betterman earns him a 1-point takedown on Jeremiah Davis.
And it looks like Davis might have gotten sloppy on a headlock attempt, and Betterman just shucked him by and got a crucial 1 point in the neutral position. So now he's going to be on top in parterre should the score remain the same for the next 35 seconds. And the onus will not be on him to score. So
it was a gamble by Jeremiah Davis and not deemed a slip, not a slip throw, but actually a push down, if you will, by Joe Betterman. So he has a 1-0 lead now in this, the second period. Joe Betterman, red singlet, Jeremiah Davis in the blue singlet. Both of these wrestlers, 26 years of age. Oh, what it would be to be 26 years of age again. And to have these kinds of skills. Great athletes in their prime.
Well, Van, there's a reason I'm sitting next to you. It's because I didn't have the age or the skills.
Well, that makes 2 of us, I think, Jason, but I'm very, very grateful that we have the opportunity to be here, Matt Side, bringing you all the action on Fox College Sports.
And now we have an attention blue. Looks like Davis jumped the start. Now, 2 attentions or 2 false starts will be a caution and a point. Again,
Betterman in the top position right now. He's got to turn Davis, but he's got a 1-0 lead right now. He's got to get active, I should say.
he does not need the turn here.
Doesn't need the turn, doesn't need the point, because he does have that 1-0 lead with 13 seconds remaining in the second period.
Now Davis going to try to push the action, try to get a push out here in the final seconds of period number 2. Betterman trying to force that third and final period.
Quickly,
and he will do so.
Quickly, Betterman steps around and comes back to the center of the mat and wins the second period 1-0, forcing the third and final determining period here in the 60 kilo, 132-pound weight class.
And as we alluded to earlier, that both wrestlers were high school state place winners, but not the elite level high school nationally ranked wrestler, but they chose to become elite. They chose to focus on international wrestling in Greco-Roman in Northern Michigan, and then go on to represent the Sun-Kissed Kids and the U.S. Army. So those high school wrestlers out there, just because you don't accomplish that goal of being maybe a state champion 1, 2, 3, 4, in some states even 5 times, that doesn't put your Olympic dreams into the toilet.
No, it doesn't. In
These
fact,
2 guys are proof right there.
In fact, the role model for that, the gold medalist from Beijing, Henry Cejudo, who from high school went out to join the residence program at the Olympic Training Center, and then, of course, went on to win the gold medal in the Beijing Olympics. So here we go, third period, 60 kilos. And there will not be more than a move difference that will probably determine the champion here in this weight category, 132 pounds.
Well, these 2 guys know each other. Davis has kind of gotten the better of Betterman the last couple times they met, even though Betterman draws the 1 seed with a better performance at the Dave Schultz Memorial International back in Colorado Springs in February. He won the tournament. Davis was upended early in the tournament as the top seed, did not place, withdrew with an injury. But Betterman beat Chad Van Diver, who had beaten the Japanese wrestler who had beaten Davis. So by process of, transitive theory, I believe, Betterman earned the number 1 seed.
Well, you've got Chad Van Diver, Marco Lara, Donovan Del Pato. Again, this is a very full weight class, very popular weight class. A lot of wrestlers. Betterman tries to get inside, unable to do so. We're under 1 minute here in the third period. We'll get down to 30 seconds, and we'll be looking at parterre again. A lot of respect. Oh, he goes down to the mat. He goes down to the mat, and coming out on top of that is Joe Betterman.
That looked like...
It was huge.
Yeah, what that was is it looked like Betterman's just trying to basically pummel and scrap on the inside, snap down, pushed him back, got Davis off balance on his heels, and he pounced.
Totally off balance, and he was like a cat, and he got right there in the top position and got the 1 point for the takedown. And in all essence, that was the telltale sign, the turning point, if you will, of this match.
It's not always the prettiest technique that wins matches either. Now Betterman back in the same situation where he does not have to score, but he's got 30 seconds on top in parterre. Going to try to lift here. Going to try to load forward, adjust that lock. Davis going to try to turn into it. Trying to stay away. Oh. Blew the whistle up, and we go back neutral with 10 to go. Davis going to need something here in the final 10.
10 seconds to go here in the third period. Joe Betterman holds on. He will be the national champion at 60 kilos. The seconds tick away, and Joe Betterman accomplishes his mission and wins the national title at 60 kilograms, beating Jeremiah Davis.